When you're displaying disciplinary data for your staff, what you don't want to do is provide a whole bunch of raw numbers that have no context to them. Especially when you're a district administrator and you're looking across campuses, you really need a way of comparing apples with apples. And you need to put that data into a format where it's actually going to be useful for decision making, your own decision making and the decision making of your campus teams. So very best practice for working with disciplinary data is to put it in some kind of visual format and also to use comparable numbers. So not raw numbers. For myself, what I found most useful was to use rate data. So in my work, we worked a lot with talking about in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, expulsions, things like that. And we wanted to look across our district as a whole. What is the rate? How many incidents per 100 students are occurring? That way, if I'm comparing a large school with a smaller school, the rate data is going to be comparable, right? Let's use out-of-school suspension for an example. How many incidents resulting in an out-of-school suspension are occurring per 100 students? I would provide that data in a format where they could see year to date what their rate was, and then also show them year to date where their rate was last year so they can see, am I kind of doing better than last year, worse than last year? What does it look like? And also to provide, once you have that and you can kind of see, you can project to the end of the year. Like, how am I likely to end up at the end of the year in terms of my disciplinary data based on where I am this year compared to where I was last year? And so you're really giving people a lot of ways of comparing their data and actually having a point of reference. Otherwise, you don't know. If you're just looking at a lot of raw numbers, it's really, really hard to tell. And as a district administrator, when I put that into rate data and made it comparable, I can also see that there were wildly different disciplinary outcomes across campuses. Some campuses had much, much higher rates of suspension than other campuses, which just makes us say, okay, let's step back and take a look. Where do we need to focus our resources? Where do we need to dig a little deeper and see what's going on? The rates are never going to be exactly the same. Many campuses have all kinds of different reasons why it might be different, but we want to dig a little bit deeper and see where we can find support. And when I started providing that kind of data every single month so that principals could see how their data was looking compared to where they were last year, how their data looks compared to other campuses within our district, especially similar campuses within our district, it started a conversation and it was just much more transparent. We could really tell whether we were making a difference in what we were doing or not. And I think it really helped spark a change in the way we thought about disciplinary data and the way that we were using exclusionary practices. So just a couple of tips to take away from this. One is use rate data rather than raw numbers. And you can put the raw numbers in there too. Of course, people need those, but you're really trying to find ways that you can provide a point of reference. So if you use rate data, year-to-date data, and then provide previous years, year-to-date data as well, you're going to provide a point of reference. And then if you can take that and put it into some kind of graph or visual that makes it really easy to see, that also makes a big difference rather than just giant spreadsheets that are hard to work with.